Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a fight? This will be fun.
But I think last night was good because the energy is still low.
You could train a bit, huh?
Yeah, like a...
Can you show your fists to the audience?
Come on.
You see, they left at home their gloves, so we want to see blood. And for me, it's a pleasure to have at my left side here, Gareth, because he will defend or advocate what this house is standing for. And what is this house standing for? We firmly believe that all these novelties of AI learning and their accolades, like machine learning, like next best action, metadata, are really killing what is at the heart of marketing, and that's creativity. So Gareth, you know, no mercy. And here, despite on my right hand having a very charming lady who has some secrets, which we can talk about later as a helpline, is standing on the other side. She truly believes that AI is the golden grail. So what we will do is, before we get started, I will ask the audience, who is with Gareth? Raise your hand.
Oof, I got a tough job.
You have a tough job to do, my friend.
Okay.
But to be sure, we cut assumptions. Who is with Carolina?
I will try to maintain that momentum.
So a lot of people that don't dare to pick sides. I understand why. Okay, so Gareth, I'll let you start to share your opening statement, and then we will listen to Carolina, and then I will ask you to counter each other opening statement.
Okay, so at UCB, I am the head of clearance, which means MLR. So it's very odd for me to be sat here defending marketeers, but there's a reason for that. I'm going to tell you why. Outside of Pharma, I work in Hollywood, okay? So I help make movies, I write stories, publish books, that kind of thing. And I think there's a lot we can learn from Hollywood for Pharma. And the reason is this: we're storytellers. I think we've forgotten that marketing is about telling a story. We are here on behalf of the patient to tell them and the world why we should be caring about their disease, their plight, why it's important for them. And we've gotten so into the detail and so into these channels, we've forgotten that's what we do. From the beginning of time, before we could even write, stories were how we communicated. It's how you remember something. It's how you remember facts. It's how you engage with your people at your side, next to you, and that's what we should be focusing on as marketeers. And AI can't do that because stories require empathy. It requires you to feel for the patient. It requires you to put yourself in that patient's shoes and understand what they're going through. And as someone who's even used ChatGPT or Claude or anything to help me write one of my stories, it sucks. It tries, the words are pretty, but there's no depth, there's no feeling to it. And that is what we are here to do.
I fully agree with you, so we can go home. You convince me. Do you agree?
I'm not agree. I think what will kill the creativity is not AI. I think AI will enhance creativity. What is kill creativity is poor data, a slow process, boring content, and other stuff. What I see in the future, I see two different types of marketeers. Two groups. So the first group, it will be the group that will save time. Those groups will use tools, templates, to be more efficient, and will create content, will start using more copyrights and visualization. The other group will be more focused, still using a lot of AI, but using our own ideas to generate and co-create new information. So that group will be more innovative, more strategic, but still using AI to empower. Why is that? I think both groups, as you saw, they're using AI because we need to enhance this new opportunity. If we're having so data, social media also is changing. So it's not how many content you are creating, it's the quality versus quantity. And nowadays, data is given all the information to really create a nice experience in a personalized way. So, especially, as I say, social media is changing. Now we are using content by interest. So if your content is not relevant, it's not timing, and it's not in the right moment, you will not see the content in the right way. So that is what we need really start creating and enhancing AI to co-create content.
Okay.
Can you please?
Easy. K-pop demon hunters. Okay, everybody knows what that is, right? Sony, during the pandemic, made that movie, and then sold it to Netflix for 20 million because they didn't believe in it, because the analytics told them it would not work. The analytics told them the customer base didn't want it, okay? It is now a $1 billion franchise with movies, and the toy companies are scrambling to get it. The toy's made for that thing, but they listen to the analytics rather than the story makers. This session is called Mad Men to Machine Learning. Okay, Mad Men, if you don't know, were the advertisers in the 1940s to the 1970s on Madison Avenue, but it was also a TV show, okay? It was an amazing TV show, but if you'd ask people, do you want this TV show about middle-aged white men who smoke and drink a lot and pretty much misogynistic the entire time, you'd say no. Okay, but it was about the story. The story was compelling, it was character-driven. Stories work because you get to share them and experience them. If you drill down so far into the analytics that every single thing becomes personalized to that one person, they've got nothing to share. My favorite thing about watching Game of Thrones was then going to see my friend and talking to them about that episode. If everything I'm getting is personalized just to me, I've got nothing to share and nothing to talk about. And then that journey doesn't expand beyond me. I think we've forgotten that we are humans and we are reliant on interaction and working with each other. I think we should forget about using the data the way we're using it, ask the right questions, and stop trying to drill down to every little possible place we can interact with somebody. Sharing will happen organically if the story is right.
He's a good storyteller, no?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's about. I saw a lot of people nodding and saying, oh, sounds good. So your arguments against his opening statement?
I think we can still be really personalized, especially if we are using AI. Nowadays, we are using Pharma especially to create journeys with plenty of emails, plenty of information. But AI, as I said before, we're going to save time. We are going to be more efficiency, and with that, we are not needed to create plenty of campaigns or plenty of different touch points. Now we are in the area that we need to create only one template based on the behavior of the user, or in this case on the HCPs, what they are consuming, based on the content they are, or the time they are going to see they're going to see the content that is relevant for them, not for us. So I think it's a huge change of mindset, especially from the marketeers, that we need to remove the creation based on guessing. Hey, I'm going to create this content because I think that they want to receive this information, based to let's leverage data-driven decision, create one template, and based on the behavior and based on the content that they're consuming, they will receive the information in the relevant time and moment.
She stays very calm and moderate, so good under control. Let's go to another direction. We've been talking a lot about data. It's all about data. We've been talking about this 2 days so far. So my question to both of you is data now diluting or enhancing creativity? Let's start with you.
I think data is enhancing creativity. In our case, in Grünenthal, we are using data. As I said also yesterday, we are already unified the data, so we are available to create a really omnichannel experience. We are enhancing AI, generated AI, or what we saw also in the previous session, we're using Marketing Cloud, but because we already have the data quality, integrated, and unified, we're available to trigger in the right time and right moment. That gives us a huge opportunity. We're seeing that we change from manual campaign creation, where the average of click-through rate was 4%, to enhance one template based on behavior trigger, and we are starting to see more than 25% of click-through rate. And that is because we are using data-driven decision to improve the experience of the HCPs.
I think we can't see the forest for the trees. I think we're having way too much data. I think it's not the data necessarily that's the problem. We're not asking the right question. We have a tendency to gather data like we're squirrels gathering nuts for winter. Not really know why we're doing it, just as much as you can, as fast as you can. Not really thinking about the question behind it. We had the thing earlier about the number of downloads versus is it actually being used. So again, the data isn't the problem. We need to have select data for select questions. So back to my Hollywood reference, it shouldn't be about, a lag measure of everybody liked Game of Thrones and now let's make all shows about dragons. That's not why people liked the show. It wasn't about dragons. It was about the characters. We had to ask the why, not the what. And I think that's where we kind of fall down as Pharma. We have an agenda to get things out faster. Therefore, that's what we're measuring. That's not what we should be measuring. We should be measuring, does it have an impact? And is that being shared? And I think you can even reduce the number of channels if your story is right, because they're going to share it amongst themselves.
So let me try to start a small effort to reconcile both kind of positions. So my question is, can art and an algorithm live in harmony together?
Yes, of course it can. I mean, again, it's about being a tool, not a replacement. I think that we all acknowledge the issue with AI is that it's based on what has come before. There's no ingenuity. I do a lot of research into this, and it's shown that AI could help people who were mediocre at their job, but not people who are very good at their job. So, and in this case, I'm talking about people who write books, right? So authors of thrillers, etc. If you weren't very good at it, the AI helped you. It lifted you up. If you were already an expert, it had almost minimal impact. And I think that's where it can really help us to lift our people and move things faster along.
Well, I still think that the AI will enhance capabilities, and we will see a huge difference with people that are using AI and not. As I said before, we are saving time, we are being more efficiency, and also we are available to create and be more innovative. It depends on how we are using. Especially nowadays, we are moving super fast. We are seeing that the content of the user, not really related with pharma, but if you are direct to consumer, it's changing. They are looking for new experience. They are enhancing the shopping life, as you are seeing. We are seeing a huge increment of sales. Also, IRL streaming, so people want to see what people are doing in life. We need to start changing the format, the content. We need to be more agile. We need to try different formats also with the different customers that we are having. We need to try long podcasts, short content. So everything with AI will be more enhancing. But of course, we need to start thinking on why we need to do it. And that is data.
There is still a bit of canyon here. Huh? So, hence another question, because when I was listening to different panels and speakers, they were talking about the importance of personalization. So my question now is, are we not fooling ourselves that we say personalization is an expression of creativity?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Personalization, we talk about personalization. Is that not a kind of a pitfall to say this is creativity?
Yeah, for me. So I don't know if anybody's seen this. There's an article this morning in the BBC about personalization of adverts. And they can get down to a level of now analyzing your emotional state. And they can tweak that ad to match the colors, match your emotional state, how it's going to react. There's been a huge backlash to that. Because has anyone heard of the uncanny valley? The uncanny valley is where technology gets so close to being human, we reject it. It feels weird. There's something in us that doesn't like it. And so I think when you go down this road, again, you get into the point of you can't share stories anymore. It's right down to you. Some of the biggest campaigns are viral because you get to talk to your friend about it. Hey, did you see that thing? You're not going to get to do that if it's super personal all the time. It's only for you. It's isolationist. And that is the opposite of what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring the patient's journey up a level to everybody to understand. So I think it's a huge pitfall. I think we need to start focusing on it.
I think that the both are really necessary. For me, creativity is create something new that is not existent before, so we are solving some business need. In the case of personalization, is tailor the right needs in the right moment. So for me, personalization and creativity go together. We need to be creative to really go in the real time, in the right moment. What we always say that, but if you don't have, again, the unification of data, you're not available to create this omnichannel experience and be creative. So.
If I listen and I look at what is happening from a marketing perspective with personalization, if everyone is receiving a personalized message, isn't it then more a question about automation, because we put them in a bucket, you are A, B, and C, you are C, D, and E, so you receive this message?
No, I don't see it like that. It's the same that we are seeing in Netflix. When you connect Netflix, you are not going to see the same information, but you need to have the time to create the storytelling, to be able to see what is going to be the template they are going to use, how is going to be the journey that we are expecting. Maybe we are reducing the push creation of the email, but we need to really be creative of what is going to be the outcome that we are expecting, and we need to train that. I also yesterday mentioned the same. If we are doing some AI agent, the AI agent maybe are building from the Salesforce platform or other platform, but we need to train them. We need to mention them what is going to be the correct action. We need to do everything. So that is creativity.
Gareth? A couple of years ago, I was chatting with a guy from Google, and we were talking about mothers up late at night with a crying baby. And they go to a website, I can't get my baby to quiet down, it's really bad. And he said, what the company should be doing is helping that mother with their problem. What was happening was they were getting personalized ads for baby formula. That's not helpful. And the mothers rejected it. They were stressed out, that's not what they wanted. And it's, although it looked like right thing, right time to right person, it was still wrong. Because it's, again, no empathy. It's not taking into consideration that need. What they should have been doing is helping that mother along with their journey and what they needed help with right then, which is what we should be doing with our HCPs, our stakeholders. What do you need? Not what do we want to sell you? And they will come back to you for help. I was pitching this 12 years ago when I worked for GSK. It's really we talk about being partners. Being partners means not bombarding messaging and not cramming it down their throat. It means being a partner. And I think the more we go into this personalization, we're more just trying to tell them what we want them to hear, not asking them, what do you want to know?
But how are you going to do it in a manual way? You are not available because you need to analyze, you need to download all the information, and that takes time for create campaign. We are in pharma, it's a long process of approval. So you are not going to be in the right time with them when they really need the business need. And that is what AI came to support us, to accelerate that process and be in the right time based on the business need. It's not based on the HCP's needs.
It's a pull, not a push.
You can get closer to each other, right?
it's a pull, not a push. The person has to want to come. I absolutely detest being bombarded with emails I don't want. But if I want to go look, that's a different thing. And I think that's the trick. Put it in a place they can go find it if they want, because they can go search. With ChatGPT, it's easy. But the more you push it at them, for me personally, the less I'm going to open it, the less I'm going to look at it.
I think what is in the middle is emotion at the end of the day.
Right.
It's how do you cover that if you rely solely on AI data, and what is the role then of the people which are also collecting a lot of this data at the end of the day?
I think the people are getting more time. We are seeing, especially, I put the message, and also last year we present different use case in Next Pharma, where we are removing from manual creation of campaign to automatization of campaign. And our influencers are the same marketers, because marketing are now saying, hey, I have more time to create or be more strategic, to be focused on the real needs, versus to start creating different touch points, different email, go to the process, go to more operative. So the people is more important than ever, but we are enhancing the creativity, we are enhancing the daily activities.
Yeah, it's an interesting stalemate, I would say. But let's look at the future now. What would you say? Let's assume that both have a kind of truth. How do we train properly the new generation of marketers to embrace, to keep their creativity, but also embrace the analytical side and the technology side? Maybe, Gareth?
I think AI is inescapable, right? So it's not going anywhere. We do need to be on top of it. Marketers do need to use it, absolutely. I think it's how it's used. I think we have a habit in the name of speed and profitability to think we can replace roles or replace people with AI, and I just don't think that's the case. I think it's an enhancement tool. I think it's a way to kickstart creativity, but it needs the human spark in there as well.
Well, I think it's super important to keep curiosity, Keep experimentation, because also one of the titles here is how we are available to democratize. Nowadays, and that is what I bring this mobile, but nowadays with this, you're available to create everything. You are available to create a landing, so you don't need fancy budget. You're available to create everything only with this device. So now it's not a barrier to do something without AI. I think here, if you are curious, if you experiment, you will be really a game changer. Also, it's super important to keep the critical thinking, empathy, I think, and communication. And I always say, I'm Latin America, so you need to maintain the good energy.
Yeah.
If not, nothing will work.
Let's put it a bit sharper. You have to recruit someone who's very creative, but says technology or AI, okay, it's there. And you have the opposite side, someone who's very tech-savvy, very interested, and very gifted in all the latest technologies, but creativity is very minimal because he says technology will do it for me. Who will you recruit?
Oh, that is my personal opinion. I think depends. I also started in the beginning. There is going to be two different groups of marketeers. One is going to be more innovative, I think more focused on creation. Another will be more focused on reduce of time and efficiency.
It's a very diplomatic answer, both. You're going to recruit both.
Both.
Gareth?
I'm actually going to have to agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think that is the case, and I think it is where we are moving.
So that's a nice conclusion, no?
Yeah.
So let's see if you were able to sway the audience in one or another way. When we started, Gareth had only 1 or 2 supporters. Who is still on his side or join? Oh, yeah, look at that. Carolina. Okay, so there are no winners or losers in this. I think at the end of the day, the end conclusion is clear. We need both. And indeed, if you have a team, you have the luxury to be a bit more picky, depending on who's driving creativity and who's doing the more technical aspects in bringing more efficiency into the organization. So give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you.